I just love this place. And I said that to Alan. We went out last night to have a look at the clearing. And I'm saying it to you this morning, and I've said it to the shapers. And it's been that way since I first came here when I was at university. We used to drive up, play 54 holes in a day, have 3 or 4 beers and drive back. Those were the days. And I've always thought that the only limitation on Newcastle is the finishing, the shaping and the appearance of greens and bunkers. But for example, we went down what is currently the 10th hole. I mean, you would not see that sort of shape, convex shape, anywhere else. It's just magnificent. I love it. Well, following from what I just said, the chance to actually improve firstly the appearance of bunkers, the appearance of greens, the strategic interest of greens, the effort to make them feel like they're natural and part of the surrounding shape. I mean, the shape here at Newcastle is phenomenal. I'll give you an example, the current 5th hole. Now that is, as with the current 10th, that's just mind-blowing shape. And you wouldn't find that sort of rolling, severe shape in many courses. The problem is you get to the green and you've got a totally unnatural shape that doesn't fit the rest. So the ambition and the fun and the reward will be if we're able to make the green site interesting but feel like it's part of that rolling shape. So, and also with the bunkers to make them, I mean, I've always been in the sort of Mackenzie tradition where the bunkers sit at you to a degree. Now at a place like Elliston, that style is really pristine. And at Newcastle, it won't be quite as pristine because the site is a little bit more earthy, a little wilder. Now on the other hand, this is rolling sand, but it's not dunes. I actually prefer this site to dunes. I was saying that to Alan last night too. I think this is probably my favourite golf course site, apart from the Scottish course at Ardfinn. And if the trees on Newcastle were crappy trees, then the nature of this place wouldn't be quite as good, but they're magnificent. The big trees are fantastic. So you've got rolling shape and isolation, and the natural bush is attractive. Put it all together, I actually prefer it to dunes. Yeah, this is a tough one. You asked me this half an hour ago. I go through this process, Scott and I both do. And while I'm on Scott, I just want to mention that since leaving Great White Shark, Scott's been with me the entire way, and he's now, you know, he does the full work the same as I do. He didn't in the early days, but he does now. And I don't think I've ever had a client who didn't offer, unasked, the opinion that they were so impressed by Scott. So really pleasing to have him. Favourite hole. On the existing course, it's the two I mentioned. It's your current 10th and your current 5th. I think they're just phenomenal, except for the finishing at the green sites, which we hope to fix. The new holes, I'll say something, it's not quite new, but I don't think people realise how good the reverse of the current 11th is. That is going to blow people's mind. I mean, it really is fantastic. That might be an early choice to be a favourite. But as you and I discussed earlier, perhaps this will change as the course develops, so we'll wait to see. So far, so good. It's an interesting thing. You draw the green sites, for example, we draw them to 1/8 of a metre contour. And you give it a lot of attention, and that's important because it's a starting point. and it's where the contractors work to start with. It gives you a frame of reference. And when you're drawing, you draw 1/8 of a metre contours, so you've got a lot of lines on the page, and it looks like you've got a lot of shape. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't, because they're only 1/8 of a metre each, which is 18 has taken a fair bit of time to get right, but we're going to get there. It's good. It's a bit unusual, and not everybody will like the back part of it, but there you go. But it sits nicely in the landscape. The bunkering will look dramatic, and it has to be moderately severe because you don't want balls being hit into the clubhouse. So, but that suits. A short little hole that'll favour playing the drive to the left, and if the pin's at the back right, you've got to run up the green, and if you're elsewhere in the fairway, you've got to go across the bunkers. So, but they're going well. It'll be very interesting to see today how the first develops, the current 10th. That's a really difficult one. The shape down that fairway is phenomenal, and when you get close to the green, there's a couple of ridges that run into where the green was located, and the idea is that the resulting shape on the green should look like all of the surrounding ridges and shape rolled into the green. So it's a natural surface sitting in a natural landscape if we get it right. Tough to get right. There's a fair bit of movement in the back of that, but we'll know by the end of today how that's going, but so far so good. Well, the greens will have a little bit, I mean, I've already answered that partially in the sense that they will hopefully be shapes that are closer to fitting into the surrounding shape than the current ones do. So the surrounding shape in most places is rolling. That's not to suggest that these greens will be extreme. They won't be extreme, but there will be shape in them. The combination of trying to make them strategically interesting and yet fit the adjacent shapes, that's the real attempt. I think the answer to that's yes. I mean, it is. Australian bush, rolling sand, not too pristine, a little bit of, quite a lot of native vegetation and some exposed sand. So, yep. It's, as I said earlier, it's the best, in my view, it's the best Australian site I've seen. To summarise it, it's got to look spectacular, more than the current course does. It's got to look natural. And I think if we're successful, that it will be more strategically interesting. So it's a combination of those two things. And of course you get the benefit of a better agronomy, hopefully firm greens, which can be made reasonably fast. So you put those three things together, the appearance, how it plays, and the firmness and the satisfaction of good agronomy, and that's basically it.